So welcome back to That's What She Said.
Welcome back.
I feel like we're always saying welcome back.
I know.
Even though for the most part, our episodes come out consecutively, we're always taking breaks because we film multiple at a time.
And just to let y'all know, we are all working hard women. Mothers. I'm a mother of 2 dogs, so right.
And plants.
And plants. So, we do this when we can. So I appreciate all the moms and the girls and the homegirls and the aunties and the dog owners and plant owners and women and men that watch our show that understand we are working women and we are a work in progress, and we do a lot to make this thing come together when we can. But we will be more
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. As you know better, you do better, and we learn along the way. And as you can see, our wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, smart, talented co-host Manal is not here. She just had her baby.
Yay! So if we only announced that in the last episode,
right? Because she was obviously pregnant.
Because when I tell everyone keeps asking, like all my clients that come, they're like, when is the podcast coming back? And I'm like, oh, Manal just had a baby. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, you must not have really watched, because it was like a split second of where we're talking about her pregnancy. And then it's like, how did we miss 9 months of pregnancy with the show?
And she looked so good. She really didn't look crazy pregnant, because you get swollen towards the end. But even then, we weren't filming towards the end.
I was really jealous, and I've never even been pregnant, but I was just
yeah.
At her baby shower, I'm like, damn.
No, gorgeous.
You look better than me regular.
Yes. Less pounds than me. Sorry, I just spit.
Like, I didn't see it. Or catch it.
Or feel it. But yeah, she's doing some wonderful nesting right now, which is much needed. And in her words, the show must go on. So we
love you, Manal.
We love you. I can't wait to hold the baby.
I know. And we can't wait till you come back. You can bring the baby. The baby can be in the show. Just put the, titty in the mouth.
Yes. I mean, that's how it got here, is what we're talking about.
Right. Exactly.
It's crazy because, when we first started this... No, let me backtrack a little bit. So I feel like, remember when there was a time when, you had tattoos and, that could stop you from getting a job? Mm-hmm. I feel like sex is like tattoos. It's still taboo. Mm-hmm. It's still something that we're kind of tiptoeing around. It's still something that most women are like, oh, we don't talk about that. Even now when I'm meeting other moms, whether it's through sports or school or whatever it is, your first instinct is to go find someone on social media. And it's when people do, I feel this kind of nervous feeling oh no, they're going to see the podcast and then they're going to think some way about me, right? Mm-hmm. That I'm this I'm this slut just dancing around your husband,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's well, whatever, nothing against sluts though. But it's still this thing of where I'm kind of it's still this sort of shame that happens that I hate.
I have to talk myself into it. So, and my way, because I've always shied away. I wanted to say shown.
I was I don't know what's going out.
Making up words. I was coming out around get it out. I have to psych myself out because I've always been that way. Like you said, women, we've just always felt that way. Unless you know a loud and proud whore, quote unquote, and not whore shaming, right?
No.
But other than that, it was just we're not talking about that unless it's your closest friends, if that. But I find myself, so when we did the last episode with the crab legs, and I go to the meat counter, or the seafood counter rather, to get them, the guy was asking me about what is all this for? It's we're having a party. I was like, actually, we have a kind of a sex podcast, and I was telling him about it. He was like, what? So him and all his meat chopping friends went in the back. So
Not
the other day when me and
friends.
Shantae went, he was like, I couldn't find it. So I told him how to look for it. He was
right.
like, we wanted to watch it. We were all ready. So I was like, I can't wait to see if they're going to tune in, because I'm going to see his ass next week when I go grocery shopping. And I also tell my clients. And then, like you said, at first it's just
who do I tell? Who do I not tell?
But it is what it is. You're having sex. I'm having sex. We're not doing it together.
We're not doing it on the show. Although some people might want to see that, but
and just it's a guilty pleasure for some people.
Yeah.
I found out, shout out to my cousin Denisha, her and her nurses. I don't remember which hospital she works at, but they watch it overnight at the nurses station.
No way.
So, shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you. My mom is a nurse. She's been a nurse for 30 years. It's a wonderful profession. You guys are much more wonderful than the doctors, let me tell you.
Absolutely. You guys do everything. Know everything. You do everything.
Everything.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So speaking of nurses.
Yes.
Cheers to our healthy drinks. I haven't been drinking.
Oh.
I haven't been drinking because I have to get ready for this wedding.
Smart.
And I'm gaining a lot of weight. And everyone's like, I don't see it. It's all on my butt and my gut. It's out of control. So
as long as you don't have a booty do.
I know, right?
Which is such a funny term.
Ooh, a booty do.
For those who don't know, it's when your stomach sticks out more than your booty do.
It be like that. It ain't like that for me.
It's definitely not.
It be like that. But real quick, I do want to talk about, we are into a new year, right? How have you been doing? Do you have some resolutions? We're going to do this in 5 minutes, y'all. We're not going to kill y'all with the New Year talk. But I do want to get into like a little bit of like, what you got going on for the new year? What do you?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Like, I hate New Year's resolutions. Like, I've always been against that. I'm like, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, just start it. You don't need to wait a whole nother year and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've always been like that. But what I did differently this year is have New Year's resolution for sex. Like, what do I want to do differently in bed? What do I want to try differently? What do I want to experience? You know, we just had it on like a shared note between Keon and I. Is it like, okay, so we can go through and remind ourselves like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to try. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize these things that you need. The older you, I'm loving getting older. Because of things like that. Like, I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Because I really need to put out some more. I do. I do. And transparency, she's not here at the moment, so I can say this, even though she edits our videos.
Right.
In the middle of the night, Shantae was like, and my ear was hurting. Like, really bad. It was hurting when I went to sleep. It gave me a headache, and I went to sleep. It's good now, but overnight, like every time I swallowed, I felt it, and I was so tired. I didn't feel like getting up to tend to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we've been sleeping with the puppy in the room. Anyway, so when she did, I just got irritated. It was like 2 a.m, and I'm like, and I had to wake up and be like, I'm so sorry. Like, my ear, and I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, how many more excuses?
My hair was like, what? No.
I need to do better.
But it's also a thing too. Like, I thought it was just like a woman thing, but obviously, like, you're in a lesbian relationship, right? So there's two women, right? So, but I always thought it was just like a woman thing. Like, if I'm irritated or something's going on, like, and I'm just like, oh my God, don't touch me. Whereas like men, they could have like lost an arm. It's like bleeding at the moment.
Through frustration.
Exactly.
I can't do it.
No.
I can't even have mad sex. Like, I can have makeup sex. And makeup sex is not even the same now as an adult. Like, when you're in your 20s, makeup sex is everything. But I feel like now it's just like, I'm still a little mad. Yeah. And I still gotta cook for you. That's enough.
Holding on to the argument just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
What is oh, you didn't show your shirt.
Oh, my titties.
If she could zoom in during this moment, I don't know if that's possible.
Listen, I saw this online in the middle of the night.
I mean, I love it because boobs are so different. You know, some are a certain shape, some are certain lengths apart. One is not the same, or two are not the same.
Right.
There's round, there's oval, there's all sorts of it. There's diversity.
There's big nipples, little nipples, bumpy nipples, non-bumpy nipples.
I didn't even realize that I had big nipples. I mean, maybe this is too much information. I don't know. But I didn't realize that I had them until Keon was like, you know, I was never really into girls with big nipples until you. And I was like, I don't have big nipples. What are you talking about?
Because that's how mine.
I'm like, feel like now I'm like, I need to measure them. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, this is a titty shirt. I love it.
It's fantastic. If you could actually post a picture of that on the Instagram.
I wish I could lie and tell people I made this and just make a profit off of it, but you know, that's not my steez.
There's a great movie, The Devil's, oh my God, I can't remember, with Al Pacino, but, and oh my God, what is his name? Super popular.
The Devil's Advocate?
Yes. It's weird because I heard that in my head, but my mouth couldn't say it.
I
The
don't
Devil's
know why
Advocate.
I knew that.
But there's this one part where the girl's like shirtless, and I was like, her nipple was so long. I had never seen nipples that long, but it just goes to show they're just so different.
They are so different.
I mean, she had like perfect breaventing nipples.
Wow. They look like bottle nipples almost.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was like,
I haven't
wow.
had that, but
I haven't had that, but I've seen that.
It. I've seen it. I love different, women are so different. We vary, and I love it. I love it. Just like vaginas, real quick, because we always go off topic, but that's who we are.
Well, you have a list. You're going to keep me to this list. I know.
I'll try. Real quick, can I say this real quick?
Oh, please, of course.
I've been wanting to say this for weeks. I've been wanting to talk to you about this. Literally, I wanted to call you in the middle of the night because I'm like, I think my vagina is getting bigger.
You did mention this.
Okay, I did. It has to be. So me and my client were talking about it because I remember you and I were talking about panty lines and leggings, right? And I was like,
one of my pet peeves is when people wear full panties with leggings.
Hate me because now I've turned over a new leaf.
Tell me what is it?
My underwear have gone a whole size up, right? And it's not just my butt. It's because even the thongs, it's my vagina.
What?
It's getting more like plump, like all of it. It's so I asked my doctor, like, is this like not out of concern? Yeah. I'm not concerned about that, but it's just like I wonder. And she was like, oh yeah, that's a natural thing. Like it varies in size and grows and shrinks just like the rest of your body does. And I was just like, what? So I was telling her like, yeah, it feels like more plump, like my underwear tight. I had to go and buy like a whole new underwear drawer of underwear.
Wow.
And I went from a small to a large.
Wow.
So
that is so interesting.
Comfortable.
Yes, it's a comfortable vagina.
Yeah, but I also noticed that jeans are getting uncomfortable for me.
Yeah,
like a lot. That little seam on the middle of the jeans is not my friend.
Oh my God, I feel like it hurts.
Yes. So I'm like, this is why I got on sweatpants.
Yes. Sweatpants, leggings. Like, I mean, and you see women like all over the world. This is like what we love to wear now. It's so comfortable. But yeah, there's something about it. So now I wonder if my vagina is getting bigger because I feel the same way in jeans.
Yeah, it might be getting bigger, friend.
I know it when I'm very turned on. It does like puff up. It opens. It's almost like the flower. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, oh my God! But it goes back down. This is like not going down.
This is.
So now every time I see someone with full underwear and leggings, I'm gonna think, oh, she just got a big coochie.
Got a big coochie. And I'm so comfortable now. Like I said, now I have a drawer full of, like, I still have my thongs and stuff, right? But they're just not as, and I was like a thong advocate. Like, people like, how do you wear that? I'm like, girl, it's the most comfortable thing in the world. But now, if my thong is not like 47 sizes too big, that's how I be down there.
That's so interesting.
So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out. So, ladies, can you relate? Can you please let us know we're not the only ones. Kari doesn't know. She's not sure yet.
I'm like borderline big vagina. I don't know what's happening yet. I wonder if even in thongs, though, if they just make the vagina part thicker, would that suffice for you?
They need to make they do. Even like the panties in Victoria's Secret, like I stopped wearing Victoria's Secret a minute ago because I just outgrew their underwear.
Yeah.
Like the butt, it's just not made for the butt.
No. Well, I think they're also like making them in prisons too, so I don't know if we should support that.
Yeah, I stopped supporting Victoria's Secret for a lot of reasons. Women, we need to just not support them as women. Take a stand. I've been doing Fenty, but then I've also been doing Ross because I needed
Ross
the big
is
drawers.
great.
Yeah, you go get the 7-pack.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have never been more comfortable and happy in my life, and I just wanted to get that out. So
I love that.
Big coochies. Shout out to the big coochie.
So we need a variation of a shirt like this with different size and looking coochies.
I can get that together.
I think you could get that together.
All right.
It's not copying, it's just motivation.
Yeah.
Inspiration. That's art.
Let's do it.
I love that. I want to talk about I know we talked about this earlier, but my sister, I have 4 sisters, so but one of my wonderful sisters, she she was recently dating a woman, and then now she's dating a man. And the same had happened years before, where it was like college, she dated a woman, and then they broke up. She ended up dating a man. Then she went back to dating a woman. Now she's with a man. So it was a bit of a pattern here. So my other sisters and I, who are, straight for the most part, were like, so you're not a lesbian anymore? And she was like, well, I never said I was a lesbian. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. I guess I don't remember those words coming out of your mouth. I just said to myself, oh, okay, well, she's not a lesbian anymore. She's back to men.
Right.
And she goes, well, it's not about men or women. It's just energies. I'm just attracted to people. Mm-hmm. And to me, I was like, I had heard that before, but it was just kind of like, for me, for my generation and the generation above me, I think there's this need to categorize and define people. Like, are you gay? Are you straight? Are you bisexual? What is it? I need to categorize you so that I can understand it.
Do you also find it to be super ironic that in the same sense, they don't want to be, and I'm gonna say they, because I'm talking about people in general, don't want to be categorized, but wants to be categorized as like anything? Like, it's very complex.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And I'm all about learning. You know what I mean? Like, I have a bachelor's and a master's degree. Like, I love to learn, but like, I also just want to understand it more so that I'm not like disrespectful, but also like, I also think it's progressive. Like, I'm not against it at all. I'm very like, oh wow, this is like the new thing, or not new, but more common maybe. But I just feel like our generation, the generation above, like, we need to define things, and the new generation is like, no, I just like people.
Yeah. And I think that's where all this new terminology and stuff comes from. And that's why most of the time now, I notice I hear less and less of like lesbian or gay couple. They just say same sex.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. For the most part. But again, now that gets like borderline. Is it like, are we talking about sex here?
Right.
I have a few family members that transitioned. Don't have any that transitioned to a woman, but I have two that were female that transitioned to man. And it's an experience. It's definitely a learning experience. As a family, we love dark humor, so we make our jokes about it, but we never in front of his face. Like,
right.
It's very respectful. I think we all just do that as families.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah.
Especially if we're just inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
But I just, at first I didn't understand it. And at first it was like, what? I don't get it. But then I had to realize, I know a lot of people that look at me and be like, I don't understand how you can rub on coochie. Like, I have had people say that to me verbatim. Like, I don't understand how you can. I'm like, I don't need you to understand. I just need you to respect it.
Right, exactly.
I don't need you to even think about me doing that. Like, you don't have to think about that.
That's another thing too. Like, we don't do that with straight people. We're not like, oh my God, what are they doing behind closed doors? It's like, why do we care what anybody else
Why
is?
do we care? I don't care what. Like, I had to get to that point in my life. Like, why am I caring if someone wants to go and get a penis?
Right.
That has nothing to do with me. That's your new dick. Like, and whoever you share it with, that has nothing to do with me. So I think we all just need to take our time, and we all have to be understanding of each other. Like I said, at first I just couldn't fathom or understand that. I couldn't put it together on how someone could feel they were born outside of in the wrong body.
Yeah.
Until I had to put myself, perspective is everything. And once I put myself in that situation, it was like, oh, that's how people feel about me. And that's how I feel about you. Like, I look at you like, Carly, penis? Really? That's what you want out of life? And
that's what we're doing.
So I get it. I get it.
And that brings me to another point, because like, I remember I was out and I was dancing with this person, and I was like, ooh, damn, he's fine. Like, he's like ripped, like everything. You know what I mean? We're dancing, so we're salsa dancing. So you're like, it's more intimate. You're like, holding each other. Well, come to find out, this person had transitioned from a woman to a man. I would have never known just off top, just looking at them. I was like, this dude is fine. He's ripped. Like, I'm more amazed at like, wow, because it's hard enough for me to get my body together. You went from a woman and then like to a buff dude, and you still look good. In he's a model.
Right.
So
It bears the question.
It bears the question that, like, okay, I mean, I wasn't single. Like, we were just dancing. It was nothing, to it. But should they have to reveal that they transitioned if it's not blatantly obvious?
So it's so sketchy, right? Because on one hand, at some point, I think you do have to, because for many reasons. Like, for one, I kind of think it's disrespectful to the other person's sexuality and beliefs, for one. Secondly, what if that person wants to reproduce later on, and you're like, oh, by the way, I was, I don't have sperm, I have a penis, and it's like, well, you could have told me that shit a year ago. So I do think you should have to disclose. I don't know when's the best time. Maybe date 3 before things get serious or intimate.
I think it should be right off top, because here's the thing: if
people get killed over stuff like that, though.
Well,
you gotta know who you're dealing with.
Absolutely, but I think there's a way to respectfully do it. I mean, if you're gonna continue to wait, that's definitely gonna anger someone. Not to say that, like, their violence is justified or anything like that. But it's like, if you know that I'm, let's say, for example, a straight woman, right? And I'm looking for a man, then if you were a woman before, you should disclose that to me, because that's not fair to me. I was looking for a man. Doesn't mean I might not be open to it.
In their mind,
I am a man now.
And I know, it's just so. I guess now you just literally have to ask the question: were you born?
Which, if somebody says that to me, I would be
were born. What were you, like? What? But you have to.
Yeah, and it's just, I think it's so hard on so many sides.
Back in the day on the Ricky Lake show, when it would be those, I to this day don't know if they were real or fake, because I think I was too young to, like, really understand. But when they had the women that were dating, even on Jerry Springer, that were dating another woman, and they come out, I'm like, I'm here to tell you I'm a woman, and they're like, how did you not know? And it's like, were you fucking in the dark? And even in the dark, a dildo feels very different from a penis.
Yes, so unless you're like drunk or on drugs or anything like that.
Oh, that
and back then, the technology was not that great.
Right.
Nowadays, I mean, the technology that they have,
I can fool
even
you.
Machines.
Not me. But
even Machines, it's like, wow, like this looks amazing, or this feels like totally real.
Got all the listen, the dick sucking machine.
Oh, that thing
it
that
looks
goes.
Like it'll snatch your dingling.
That's
off.
what I'm saying. I'd be scared to put my thing in there. It just takes it.
No.
What if an angry person really made it to do that? They marketed it really well, so men bought it.
They even have a clitoris sucking one, and it's like,
yes. I just don't want any machine doing anything, because you never know when it might go wrong. It malfunction, exactly.
And you can't, like, turn it off. And it's
no.
Then what the fuck do you do?
Unless you can get some sort of great lawsuit out of it. But you can't really get your clip back. You can't really get your dick back, not in the way that you need to get it back.
Right.
But
anyways. Real rich to give up a clitoris. Anyway. So yes, disclosing yours. I totally. So you think yay?
Yeah, I just 100% right up top. Like,
I say by the third date. I say that because by the second date, you both may realize you don't even like each other, and that is because I also feel like it's very traumatic for someone and scary to have to bring that up.
I think when you don't disclose it, you take away someone's option.
Absolutely.
And that, at the end of the day, is wrong.
Because that's like herpes. Like, I want you to tell me day 1 you have herpes.
Absolutely.
Day 1 that you have herpes, but day 3 that you don't have a penis.
There's a timeline for this.
That's the timeline.